Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, well, here we go, folks, on a Thursday morning, and it was another very cold start to the day. And, well, even as we go through the afternoon, it's air still in place. But the good news is I am tracking a sharp warm-up as we head into the first part of next week. Maybe some rain chances as we go through the weekend. We'll discuss the newest details on that. And then, well, by the way, we set a record low this morning. It's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big deal. Again, details on that over the next few minutes. But again, this would be our Thursday. And again, the one thing you'll enjoy today, at least, it is going to be the sunshine. It is going to be a generally sunny day out there. That part will be nice. But with that Arctic air in place, the sun is not going to do a whole lot. I mean, we may get to 32. We're going to try and get back to the freezing mark locally in the Metroplex. But again, we may struggle to do that. So we'll see how that plays out as we go through the day. So single digits and teens. These were the actual morning lows around the area. I mean, this is absolutely pipe bursting cold. Again, looking off to the northwest, again, several locations there. As I mentioned, down into the single digits. Locally in the Metroplex, generally teens. Denton, even McKinney down to 10. And again, you can see the big airport down to 12. As it turns out, that 12-degree morning low, it is also a record low now for today's date. The old record was 19, and this was from back in 1939. So this record has really, stood the test of time, right? So we didn't even just break it by like a degree or two. I mean, we shattered this record. I mean, we were down, like I mentioned, to 12. If you're new to North Texas or just wondering where should we be this time of year, I mean, based off the last 30 years, an average morning low for this time of year would be right around 41. So, yeah, obviously, that was a big deal. And again, it will be a slow climb as we go through the day temperature-wise. So radar this morning, again, completely clear. Again, really no opportunity of any precipitation as we go through the day. A few windswept snow showers off to the east. That activity is moving away. But take a look here across parts of the Rockies. We've got an upper level storm system. It's a little hard to see on radar. I mean, you can see some higher elevation snow, but as I add the water vapor imagery, you can see very evidently here this counterclockwise spin, and this is slowly but surely going to be coming out as we head into the weekend. The way it looks right now, I mainly think it's just going to be Saturday night. It's going to give us an opportunity of some showery activity around the area. Pretty spotty, not great rain chances, but there is kind of a low-end opportunity. But the good news is Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, daylight hours, I think those are going to turn out to be just fine. Again, I'll show you the modeling on that coming up. Otherwise, the other big story today, it remains this right here. Again, it's just all about this Arctic air mass that remains entrenched, not just in North Texas, but again, you can see across a good part of the country. Again, that lingers in earnest through tomorrow, Friday. As we get into the weekend, it begins to retreat. And then I tell you what, as we head into next week, it completely retreats back to the north. And again, temperatures, we're going to really go from one extreme to the other. I mean, bitterly cold to something we're probably not going to mind as much. But again, temperatures trending, I mean, just well above normal. So here's Saturday. I really jumped this forward in time. Saturday afternoon, we're quiet. This will be Saturday evening, Saturday night. Again, you can see a few widely scattered showers, right? It's about 20-30% opportunity, not necessarily a big deal. Again, just rainfall projections. Some locations, especially east of Interstate 35, could pick up a quarter to maybe a half an inch of rain. But again, the window on this, it's literally just Saturday night. So again, for weekend plans, the way it looks right now, still a little subject to change, but the way it looks right now, all of that should work out perfectly, and we'll take, again, just a little more liquid rain as well. So as we go through the day today, 30s for most of us. Again, we're going to struggle to at least try and get to the freezing mark locally here in the Metroplex. Winds are a little bit lighter today, but there will still be a wind chill factor as we go through the day. Teens and, again, 20s. That's what it's going to feel like. Again, you'll want to dress in layers, bundle up, take all those cold weather precautions that you've been doing over the last several days for at least another day. Evening plans down in the 20s, another evening where you're more likely just going to want to stay in. So not quite as cold tonight. Most of us in the 20s. Maybe one more night you think about dripping the faucets, right? Especially in our northern counties. So cold, but not as cold. A little bit of good news there. And then as we get into tomorrow, similar story, cold, but not as cold, with more in the way of mid-30s. And as we get into tomorrow afternoon, we begin to turn the corner to some milder temperatures, like I mentioned, heading into the weekend. So 50s back in the forecast for the weekend, but I think the bigger story, take a look at this here, look at the 70s as we head into, well, early next week.